So, Adrian, how much did you make yesterday?
3.25k in commission alone yesterday.
Amazing. How does it feel doing that from Spain?
I mean, man, it's great. I think you don't realize how good it is until it is, right? And what I mean by
Mm.
this is a lot of the time you dream of a life like this, and now you're at
Yeah,
this position. Now you want more. So
yeah,
it's a good position to step back, realize what's
mhm,
happening,
yeah,
and then continue, especially what's coming on in the future.
for sure, for sure. For those that don't know, in a very simplified form, because what you do can seem complex to some people, what is it that you sell?
Very simply put, very very simply, we work with brands like Forbes, like Brave, recently Matic, the Polygon, all other companies. And our main goal is to help these brands increase reach, authority, and education in the mass market. We have different vehicles. I won't dive deeper into this, but essentially, we're a B2B company in the crypto niche, in Web3, right? The
Yeah.
hardest niche to possibly sell in terms of trust, in terms of anything like this.
Mhm.
But essentially, yeah, we scale companies in the blockchain space.
Amazing, amazing. And do you enjoy what you do?
I do. I do. It's very fun. It's very fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just in Paris recently, no, with the team.
I was Paris. This was the second time in Paris. The very first time in Paris actually was when I met Leon,
Yeah.
the offer owner now that I'm actually selling for. So that's quite nice. But yeah, we went for 3 days, quick pit stop, as they say, and then we came back here. So that was a quite nice event. And then we'll go into Dubai in April for another event too. So that's really nice.
Yeah. And you're going there with Jacob, who is another client of ours, right?
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. And you're going there for a whole month. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. One of our guys for us a month is nearly 5 weeks because he booked the 21st to 21st.
Yeah.
You thought that's a month, but you can't complain, can you?
Yeah, it's not bad. It could be worse. Could be worse. For those that don't know, obviously, which will be a lot of people, before you got into like sales, the remote space, like what were you doing?
I was still in the space. That's why it's so good. So I was still in the the crypto blockchain space, but I
Yeah.
was doing partnerships and stuff like this for
Yeah,
companies. So
yeah,
that was before I actually joined Sign.
yeah. And then before like that, what were you doing? Before you even got into, because I know you got into crypto and then you got into remote sales in the crypto space, but before any of that, like what were you doing?
So before that, I actually played professional football. Before that, before everything, then I made my own academy, and then I went into what we are now.
Yeah. I'm curious, do you feel like that professional athlete kind of mentality, mindset, discipline has helped you now?
Yeah, I mean, man, look, sales is a lot of the time is how you behave, how you look, how you speak,
Hmm.
right? And that comes from pure dedication to the craft and how your day looks like. So, for example, in football, you know that by this time you got to wake up, you got to do this by this time, this by this time. You got to perform on Sunday, and you got to perform every day. So, like people getting into sales that may not have that professional experience, that's the first building block they have to build, as opposed to already having that made in the past.
Hmm. I, I, so in short, like you feel like it did definitely help you. And
100%.
yeah,
100%.
without a doubt. Because I spoke about this with a couple, with the clients. I always tell them it's like to make 10K a month, like just focus on becoming that person, right? Because that's a lot of people's goals when they start out in the space, right? Um, you having that discipline already from that side in the professional sports world as you were a professional football player, that definitely gives you an advantage because you already know how to be disciplined. You already know how to give yourself structure and stick to it. And that's, I think, something that a lot of people struggle with. And you're very good. Like, what's that app called that you have now? With the push-ups for the social
ClearSpace, this is
media.
the worst app possible. Oh my god, this app. Dude, it blocked my Instagram fully the other day. I couldn't get it off. I was like, it's restricted the whole day. I couldn't get on it at all. That's how good it gets.
But that's great, right? because you took the initiative to get an app like that, right? Because you saw it as like a problem, and you've been, reaping the rewards. I remember we spoke about it like you did it last week, and then yesterday you make over 3K in a in a day. So it's clearly working. Don't get rid of it.
No, it's a fascinating scenario, man. And this would be good here. So many people look at the 10K like the golden figure,
Yeah.
but let's both be real here, right? USD. We're not talking about GBP here. USD. Anything above online, man. Anything above 5K, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anything above that threshold, purely because it basically allows you to be anywhere,
Yeah.
like genuinely anywhere, and still be in profit. Like this place, if you book for a month, let's suppose you go with two people, you pay 750 each, right?
Yeah.
Then let's say you want to spend food. Let's say we give another 800 on top of this. You look at a 4.6, let's suppose 1.6K. You
Yeah.
made 5K. Like all people look to 10K, but in reality, man, like anything above 5, you're living in golden era here.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. I think it's just the buzzword. Like you said, it's that golden number. And I don't think people even realize why they want it. They just want it because people tell
Yeah.
them that they want it.
It's true. It's true. Like, dude, when we hit the record month 2 months ago, like we won.
Mm,
Like, of course, it was a great month. Yes, like when you see the money, you're like, what the fuck? I've made this in a month,
mm,
right? This is plus XYZ amount has gone into the bank account. Like that is
mm,
crazy. Like that's the achievement. But
yeah,
in reality, yes, it does feel good. Yes, it helps a crap ton because now you can just go a lot of places. But you'll get used to it. Like it's just because you've
yeah,
done the work. Like it just comes as a byproduct. Like yesterday's
yeah,
day, dude. All right, it was a great day, but it just came purely because we just did what we did and we stuck with it.
yeah, for sure. It was just a result of all the previous work that you've been doing. Um, and we've spoken about this a lot actually, in a couple one-on-ones that we've had. I remember it was in December, I think, or January. We had a one-on-one where we spoke about like you hit your record month and you're like, don't really feel any different.
No, this was actually literally when I hit it. It was the week I came back. The
Yeah,
biggest challenge is like, what's the next why? Like
yeah,
genuinely speaking, you hit a goal. What is next?
mm,
Right. First step is of course maintaining it. Let's just be clear here. You have to maintain
yeah,
that because why hit a goal if you can't be there?
yeah,
Monetary, for example, in sales.
yeah,
But the overall goal, man, and I realize this now, is to make this money so that you can actually live in the present, right? That's because then you don't have to think like, oh, I need to make more. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. If you're able to truly have your life on top of your fingertips, you're able to live in the present, and that's the greatest gift we have.
mhm. 1,000,000% for sure. It's people take it for granted, Um, the people around them, their friends, their family, everything. It's like we live in a day and age where there's a million distractions. And so like being present, I think is a currency. Like attention is a currency. Your attention. Value your attention. Look at where your attention is going and put it where you want to put it. And I think you've done a lot of work there to realize where you want it to go. Um, and what I think is cool is like you travel the world, you go see football games,
Mm.
uh, and for like the biggest teams, like you've seen the Milan derby, the Madrid derby, like do your thing, man. And you travel the world and you connect with cool people. Like, would you say this is the happiest you've been?
Day to day,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Of course, even better is bringing the friends that I have back home with me up at
uh-huh,
the same time. That's the happiest ever.
yeah,
But like, man, I'm gonna be honest, the quick 4 day trips for football games, that's nothing gets better than this,
yeah,
right? You go to see a city, you have fun, and you see like one of the best games there is. Like, especially, man, the Madrid versus AC Milan game in the Champions League.
mm,
Like, do you know how many people would want to go there? Like, that's a
yeah,
crazy game in Madrid at the Bernabeu in the new stadium.
yeah.
You know, like it like hands down, it's probably like top 5 best stadiums in the world. It doesn't
Yeah,
even
no,
compare
for
because
sure,
how new
for
it is.
sure,
So
1,000,000%. And I think that's what I really think you've done well in is like what you where you want your attention to go and your money and this and your time. It's like you enjoy experiences, right?
yeah,
Like, bro, you booked a trip for your parents, booked like you've done some amazing things for your friends, your family, like very, very generous person. Um, and I think that will get you very far in life. And I think you should obviously never change. Um, with yourself, so you hit your record month, um, which was amazing. For those that don't know, like what was your record month?
so that was from the offer 15k, and that was the highest month ever. And for reference, just for reference here, we came on the offer as the only closer. So
Mhm.
ourselves, we've done 50% of the company's revenue in 1 month and got 15k in commission. So that was unbelievable.
Yeah. And so that was a milestone that you had for yourself. The next one is 20,
Yeah.
obviously, which we're working towards. For yourself, what are your goals for the next 6 months, couple years? Like, what goals do you have for yourself? Where do you see yourself going? I'm curious.
Yeah. One's always a big one. So people want to hit milestones of 20k.
Mm.
But let's suppose you hit 20k and then you can't maintain stable
Yeah.
back there, right? It's like the overall goal for the year. We of course said the 150k in commission. We said that. That's number one. Because like yes, you're gonna have 20k months, but next month, like we've seen last month, can be a bit slower, purely because things change,
Mhm.
right? So number one is maintaining that the commission aspect. Number two is scaling and fungible that we have now. The company I work at,
Yeah.
just run it up as much as possible, man. There isn't a goal behind it. As much as possible. Like we have all records under ourselves, under our belt,
Mhm.
right? Every single record we have is ours. So run it up as much as possible. And to be clear, that's 20, that's 30k in
Mhm.
commission, right? Number two, man, is, and this is a big one as well at the same time, is doing more of this, what I'm doing now,
Mm.
right? AKA being abroad, Spain, beach, fun. But the last one as well, man, is helping the friends around me that are in sales doing what? Doing the same.
Mhm.
So there's four main ones. I know people want to get really clear on the specifics. I want this amount, this amount, this amount. But like man, I know the vision board for me personally, like I'm fully aligned with it. And now it's helping others to come up there too.
For sure. That's something that a lot of people don't even realize is like in sales, right? You have the ability to have a knock-on effect. For example, you were obviously sold what we do.
Mm.
The knock-on effect of that is you live a life and you start achieving your goals and you start inspiring people around you. They then come up and they want to reach that level too. That is the knock-on effect you can have as a sales rep in this industry. It's pretty fucking cool. You have the ability to not only make impact in one person's life, but other people's as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's personally why I got into the space. It played a big factor when I realized I could do that. It's why I love doing what I do now. Um, impact is important for me. I think you know that. Um, and yeah, we're just going to keep going, keep pushing.
I
What do
love it,
you
man.
feel like has been the biggest, I guess, help for you getting to where you are at? Whether with what we do, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
is it like the one-on-ones? Like, what exactly for you is like the not silver bullet because we don't believe in silver bullets, but the thing for you where you can be like that game changer.
Before I go into that, Nico, I actually had one more goal. I forgot to mention. I think this could be good to add. As
Tell
I
me.
was speaking about
I
this,
want to hear it.
always a big one, man. Is if we have the ability to make so much money,
Yeah.
right? We can put it to use at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So a big one, like in reality, this would be super nice. It would be super expensive, but imagine, like you took your parents a week Dubai, week Maldives, all in business class. That would be unbelievable. Because my parents, like, FYI, if you don't know, I watch a lot of like, I'm a plane geek, right? But I watch a lot of like luxury travel, and my
Yeah.
parents watch it with me. So like, oh, that'd be so cool. But they've always
Dude,
wanted to
you're
go
gonna do it.
Maldives and Dubai.
You're
So
gonna do
that's
it.
a big one for this year. Like this year, not next year, this year. And
You're
that would
gonna
be
do it.
unbelievable.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I have no doubt, bro. Like, and that's crazy to me to hear. And that's also like a fucking awesome moment when you have that moment like that. Like,
Yeah.
savor it, because that's something that, yeah, insane. But on that, it just goes back to what I was saying earlier, bro. Like, you're a very generous person. I think that's amazing. That's an amazing trait that you have. And not only that, I also think that not only is your goal very achievable this year, and I believe you're going to make it happen, but on top of that, who's stopping you? No one. Just
And
you.
man, we have yeah. You get so much certainty. Like, dude, for me, like to like this goes back to yesterday. After yesterday, I've got even more certainty in me. Like I've had more certainty in me when I hit the record month because I've always wanted to do it. So you have certainty in you that you can pull it
Yeah.
off no matter what.
Mhm.
But like even yesterday, to close what we did in these conditions gives me so much certainty in what I do on a day to day.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is just simply what it is. It's certainty, and certainty in life will get you everywhere. Because sales
Yeah.
is certainty at the end of the
Mhm.
day, right?
Conviction, bro. It's confidence. It's everything.
Exactly, exactly.
And no, for obviously those that don't know, like now when Adrian talks about certainty, it's because crypto is in a very interesting place at the moment. Early March, end of Feb. So yeah, that's what he talks about. It makes it very hard because people don't want to spend money necessarily in growing their crypto project when the whole market isn't exactly where it needs to be. But at the same time, crypto is doing extremely well. Um, and Trump being president definitely helps you out there.
I hope it does. I hope
I
it
feel
does.
like it definitely does, no?
Yes and no. I'm very curious to see what it does.
I read something that he might get rid of capital gains for crypto in the US.
But you know that's actually not good short term.
Is it not?
Because like, dude, if there's 0% capital gains tax, what happens? People sell.
People put a lot of money. Yeah, people sell, but
Because
also
why would you?
people will put more money in crypto.
It's true. The only I'm very worried about is people have had positions for let's say 1 or 2 years. You put 0% capital gains tax, they'll be like, oh, okay, well I can get out now and no tax, right? That's the only
Yeah.
way that I think about it. But the other way is, of course, hey, I want to get into it because of 0% tax.
Yeah, it will. There's both sides of the coin, obviously.
Yeah,
Because you'll have a lot of people who have a lot of money who haven't got into crypto because of the capital gains, and now they're
yeah.
getting into crypto. So we'll see, we'll see.
I'm positive. I
But
hope it helps.
anyway, if you're crypto shouldn't matter to anyone unless you're making bread, in my opinion. Like
Yep.
crypto isn't going to turn you from someone who is making like a grand a month to a 6 7 figure earner.
No.
Uh, so you know, don't care about it. You shouldn't care about it because yeah, that's one thing that really frustrates me. People are always looking for the big meme coin that's gonna 1,000x. It's like, dude, come on, come on. It's like you're just gonna get rug pulled.
You make more money from your vehicle, man. You always do.
Facts. Your skill set. Have the skills. That's all it is. It's like develop the skills that make you someone, like we said, that makes 10 grand a month. Does that person have the skills of sales, of business, and general like people skills or whatever? They do. So get those skills. I think it's super important. Um, but going back, because I'm going to hold you accountable to those goals, my man, and we're going to make them happen. But going back, what do you feel like was the biggest help for you to achieve everything you have so far in this remote sales space?
A big one, man. Unless it's probably people don't say this, is actually having someone to speak to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like let's put skill set aside, let's put like all this mentality, whatever aside.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part in sales is resonating with someone and actually having someone to speak to about it. AKA, when I'm starting an offer, B2B, Web3 sales, what the hell? Right? Like genuinely speaking, not many people sell B2B. We can all agree here. Not many people actually in the industry teach B2B. Everything you see is B2C. And for me, it was very hard to resonate. For me, it was very hard to how to adapt, how do I speak to someone. And it's not even, like I said, the skill set, it's not even the mentality side. It's the ability to have to speak to someone that resonates with you
Yeah.
and can show you the light or can actually walk you through it. What's happening? And
Mm-hmm.
just be there with you. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing, man. Hands down.
Just having someone there like as guidance almost, when
Yes.
you're lost or confused. Makes sense. Makes sense. Because yeah, dude, it's a massive factor. I remember when I was first on my first few offers, and I had that feeling, and I didn't have many people to speak to. Uh, it's tough. Luckily, I had a great sales team manager, but like even that, it's like the more people you can speak to, the better,
Yep.
because it's just gonna give you more clarity, give you different perspectives that you probably didn't think about. Um, and obviously, if you're asking someone who's been there, done that, helps big time, for sure, for sure. So, Adrian, I'm curious. We'll wrap it up with this last one. If you could give advice to your younger self, what would that advice be?
I always use my famous quote. I always say it to Alistair, to the other guys. If you give time enough resources, time will figure itself out. Simple as this, man. As simple as this. But on top of that, though, I would say is be more present and don't worry as much about failure. Worry more about just being your best self in the moment. And why I say this, in football, when you're 14, 15, you're always stressed out.
Yeah.
Always. Because especially as a goal, you're like, oh, what about if I play bad? What about if my touch not great? What about if this happens? But then obviously when I was 16, 17, I learned to go over this. But if I was in the state then to really just be there, not care about it, enjoy, and just be my best self, I would enjoy it so much more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Being present again, it just goes back to that. It's like so key. Uh, yeah, dude, I'm proud of you for how far you've come because you have come so far from a little town in Wales to now taking sales calls in Spain and
I
doing months
know.
away in Dubai.
I know. I know.
Right. Um, so yeah, proud of you, man. And like I said, I'm gonna hold you accountable to those big goals. And we're gonna make them happen this year.
I will do. I'm working towards it. I'll set up a next step, set up a different bank account for that specifically.
Yeah, bro.
Just
Make it
I
happen.
keep just put like whatever. I need to work it out, but man, this will happen August, September time. That's when I want it to happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Pleasure as always speaking to you, man.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you very much.